Hello, my name is Utkarsh and I built AlumAssist, which is a focused alumni mentor chatbot for career guidance. The idea came from a simple problem. A lot of students are confused about their career path, and most chatbots just give them the generic answers. So instead of building a general assistant, I designed a system that behaves like an experienced alumnus guiding a junior. So what it does is AlumAssist helps with career direction. AlumAssist helps with career guide direction, skills roadmap, internships, project ideas, and even career switching. And it's intentionally scoped to avoid random or irrelevant conversations. So this is the interface. Instead of making a separate landing page and a chat page, I merge them into a single entry experience to reduce friction and guide the users immediately. Users can either type their questions into this input box here, or or they could just select one of the available prompts from the suggested section here. So let's get head to one to test our conversation. Suppose I click on this. How do I get the first internship section? I just click on here and what is thinking, and here I get response in the bullet point wise with structured prompts and with the follow-up step in the end, which gives the bot a direction and the user a direction of whatever response I got and what I do have to do next with it. I mean the next follow-up steps which we have to do, the chatbot is directing us. So here, let's just give one or more follow-up prompt. I have expertise in backend dev with Java. Guide me. So the bot is thinking. So here I got some bullet points, concise bullet points on whatever I have to do next with a guided action plan of next action plan of whatever I have to do. So, as we can observe, the responses are structured, direct, and actionable, resembling like a true mentor, not like a generic chatbot. So, let's come upon the core differentiation. The key focus was not just building a chatbot, but controlling its behavior. I designed a detailed system prompt to enforce strict scope, maintain a consistent tone, and handle edge cases like irrelevant queries or self-doubt. So just let's have a look at the system prompt. Here, here is my system prompt. I have designed entities like identity, primary purpose, core rules, responsive behavior. Responsive behavior have subpoints like structure and formatting, which we can notice here, structure and formatting, and answer depth control, decision making, conversation handling, context awareness, stop behavior. And let's talk about a bit more about these implementation of these system prompts. So initially my project scaffolded into two phases. First phase was developing it completely in the backend of it and testing it through the CLI. So here are the few snippets which we can see. I just initially used CLI to test the my bot, and here we can see a few snippets. So what I did was I just added initially the system prompt was not so detailed and structured. It has very few identities, and as over the iterations, I just gave the its input in the here section here and received output. And based on output I received, based on something, based on my consigns and my conversation with ChatGPT, I just improvised my system prompts over time and just based on the feedback I received and on whatever as a student I thought what I expect from a true mentor personality like resemblance, I improvised it over the time. Here we can see a few samples in here. So more or less, so it doesn't act like a generic AI assistant. It stays in its role as a mentor. This was made sure by the use of system prompts. So now let's head back to the front end side. So the front end side, as I have discussed earlier, I have developed both front end and back end separately and integrated that. So when my front end was, sorry, so when my back end was ready, I just generated or implemented the UI using the anti-gravity Google, which is provided by Google, and here it is the initial prompt. So build a clean minimal chatbot interface for the product. Yashvi was its original name. Now it's Alum Connect, AlumAssist. So here is the initial prompt I just gave with all the constraints. The automation work was taken place here, and see the rule, the steps of running it locally, and I just exactly follow these steps. Now comes these suggestions. See, these suggestions, I just had a few discussions with ChatGPT here in this chat thread. We could just, yeah, here are the suggestions. See, here are the suggestions I received, and I just reacted and discussed with it in here. And yeah, here is how I got. And based on the four libraries also I used here in the UI. So one library, yeah, here are the four libraries which I specifically used. First one was floating UI popper.js, which is the tooltip of the send button, which we can just, let me have a look. Just a minute, guys. Yeah, here, this library, superdesign.dev. Here's the website, and it's style I implemented. Yeah, yeah. This is style I copied, and here the four lab floating UI popper.js tooltip of send message. Here I am talking about this button. Yeah, here send button and clear chat button. It's of popper UI JavaScript library. Now the second library which I used was animate on scroll. Third one was Luxon, which just controlled the timestamp. Here we can see the timestamp. It's implemented using a Luxon library. And next up we have Sweet Alert 2, which we have the on the real time alert thing component, which we can just see here of the clear chat button and this section. There. We have chat here. This one. This was using this library Sweet Alert 2 and the additional UX. So I just iterated my design with these interaction with the anti-gravity and the chat GPT and some of what and almost my own with my own decision engine. So on the front end side, I focused on the interaction experiences, uh, clear with a clear focus on clean and minimal UI, no class morphism, no shaky purple AI generated theme, and the subtle feedbacks like timestamp and tooltips. Here are the tooltips, and here when I just send it in timestamps, here here's the timestamp, uh, and the smooth conversation flow. Smooth conversation flow includes, and yes, one thing more, it has the in scope communication. For example, if I try to talk to it out of scope things, it just gradually try to put things into the scope. For example, if I try to put in the some personal conversation, are you free tonight for a chess game? See, if I try to ask things out of relevant content, it gracefully redirects me to something which it is designed for, and that's one of its core features we can just talk off. And so the goal of this making was to make it usable and intentional, not just functional. So let's just talking of the AI usage. I used Groq for LLM. since this uses an external API, in the later phases in the production scenario, I would add rate limiting to prevent abuse and control cost. And I use tools like Anti-Gravity by Google and ChatGPT to help refine prompts and structure. But the key decisions around behavior, tone, and UX were intentionally designed. So overall, the goal was to build a focused, realistic mentor system rather than a generic chatbot. So, thanks for sticking around. Have a good day.